I have no idea whether I got the title of this video accurate or not. I don't know whether you've come in and you have no idea what I'm going on about, but I'll try and explain it now. So think of your blog posts on Squarespace. They're all, let's say, in a grid, or they're side by side, going down, whatever it may be. But at the top, you want to display a featured post. So this could either be a full bleed header, or it could be just an image with some text over. But basically, you want that one featured article to filter users to. But you can't do this with Squarespace natively. What we need to do is create essentially a pseudo element above our blog to look like it's being pulled in automatically. Now we could do this with a summary block, but it looks a little bit messy. So what I like to do is use a simple block stacking method where we put image, text, and then add a link to everything. I'm going to show you how to do it on the screen because, as usual, I'm not doing a very good of explaining things. So let's hop on over and I'll show you now. So when I talk about a pseudo header, what I'm talking about is this. So this looks like it belongs with the rest of them. It looks like, okay, we have all of our blog posts here, and then we have our featured blog post here. And you can see we've got the hover effect going on as well. When in reality, all this is an image with a link on and then some text over it. But to the user, this looks like a really fancy pants featured article header. If we click on this, this goes through to the blog post. Super simple, but really, really effective and a great experience for the user. So if we go off my blog onto the Code Examples website, let's show you how to make it. So let's add in our section. We'll add in a blank section for now. And then we're going to put our summary block here. Add in the blog, and then we'll just make this a list for now. So these are the blogs. What we then want to do is pop an image above and add an image in. So whatever we think the header of the blog would look like, let's just use this for now. Okay, so that's in. Now what we want to do is turn this into a poster image. So poster, and then you can see we've got our text. So let's put a title of featured, for instance, and then your blog title here. We'll make this a H2 to make it nice and big, and maybe we'll make the content width a little bit smaller. And you can see we've got the basics going on already. So this is our featured blog. Let's just make that a little bit wider. There we go. Okay, that looks better. Then the next step is, if you want, by the way, you don't have to, is to move this to the bottom left. So what we want to do is go into site styles, and that lives in design, and then right at the top. So then when we click on image blocks and click on our image to go to the poster, we want to put text alignment to left. I personally think this works the best. So you can see it beginning to take shape already. Then what we want to do is actually add the link to the image itself. So for this, we want to double click on the image and then add link on image, and then link to a blog, and then blog post title, or whatever the blog is that you're linking to. Then we hit save, and the next step is to add our hover effect. So if we go stay in design and then go into custom CSS, we'll add header, and then we'll add this code. So what we're doing here is targeting this block. Use the Squarespace block ID finder to identify the block that you want. And then what we want to do is essentially say, we want a transition of 0.3 seconds for the in and the out when it comes to hovering. And then on the hover, we want the image to turn slightly opaque, like so. And that takes 0.3 seconds in, 0.3 seconds out, which just makes the effect look a bit nicer. So there's our hover effect, and we've got the link on the image and over the text. So sometimes when people try and do this, they add a link to the text and then it kind of breaks the hover effect and it looks strange. So make sure you do it this way. Then the final piece of the puzzle, if you want, is to add the slight gradient that I had on the blog, which is what you can see here. To do that, we want to grab the code from here, poster blocks highlight. I won't explain the whole thing because there's just so much of it, but it will all be in a blog post linked in the description. Then the next step is to grab this code, and we're going to pop that in here. Now this is all the code that's actually needed to get this effect, and it's way too long for me to explain. But essentially what we're doing is creating a gradient from the bottom towards the top of the image. And you can see that this works because this gradient allows the text not to get lost in the image, no matter what the image is. So you might have a predominantly white image, and it wouldn't matter because there's a black gradient at the bottom, which means that the white text can sit on that black gradient and be clear and legible to users. So that's how you get that effect. And I did mention that you can actually make a full screen one. So to do that, what we want to do is upgrade our section to Fluid Engine. We want to then go to Edit Section, and we want to untoggle Fill Screen. Then we want to drag our featured image all the way out to the edges, and we want to grab our text and pop it in the corner like so. If you want, you can double click on the image and you can actually give it an overlay. So if we go to Design and Overlay, you can change the color of the overlay. So if I went for black, I could then change the opacity. So I could change how black that is. And then what I can do is change our text back to white, like so. Now I won't put the gradient on because I don't think it's needed here if we're going to put the overlay over the whole image. But if I move these up, hit save and exit, then we go down, you can see we've got that full bleed featured blog header. We can click it, you can see the pointer to the arrow turns to a pointer, we've got the link, and then blog title name, and then it goes down to our summary block of blog posts. You can put this on any page that you want. You can put it on an actual blog collection page, you can put it on homepage, wherever you see fit. And this is just a nice way to present a blog post that you may want to feature heavily, or you may want to push to the users coming to your website. And you can manually change this whenever you want, so it's not at the behest of the newer blog post being pushed into there. You can feature whatever you want from whenever you want. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been easy enough to follow. As I say, there's a lot of code to explain, so that is all in a blog post in the description. If you did find this useful, please make sure to leave a like, hit subscribe, and check out all of the other resources in the description below.